Morning, guys. Happy Friday. Morning. There's a beautiful sell opportunity in London. Looks of it. I'm not entirely sure if it correlates with everything, but it looks like it does. Okay. So yeah, new time is going to be around in between 5:10 and 5:15 to show up, as I mentioned. So I'm just going to put a note right now in the Discord server. We're going to be switching that up. Just a little bit too crammed for time to get my ass to the gym and all that other important stuff in my life. So let's just edit that really quick. 5:10 to 5. Okay, done deal. And Zoom links. So recurring pre-New York narrative, edit message, 5:10. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm not going to get into this right now. The purpose of these is just to run through what we're looking at right this second. And I would say right now, structurally, the market, so if we're just going to map this out, we're pro trend on the on the 4 hour, or on the 15 rather. I'm going to say we're going to come down to this demand at the very least, and that's based off of the 4 hour unmitigated zone. Now, could go a lot lower too. Don't think that we can't, but we just play our edge, which is based around 15-minute structure points, ideally. So 15 structure remains in control of the market to here, right? Structure point, highest point before the lowest point, right? So structure rests right here. Okay, so we're looking at the pro trend. Give me a second. I just want to pull up my iCloud, and we need the flow chart, pro trend. And let's go with this and go quick look. There we go. How's everybody getting on now that we're about almost a week in with these flow charts? Are you starting to decipher these a little bit better now? Cool. Yeah, so in terms of structure, technically we don't know that this is a structure point just yet, based on the fact that we haven't changed character. So like in order for us to confirm that as structure, this needs to actually break this level right here to confirm that we are in a pullback, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I would say that we are reacting to some form of relevant demand over here, right? So we could potentially look for a counter trend play depending on how this shapes up, right? So the counter trend play would be, obviously we need to see a chalk, right? We are in fact reacting to something relevant that's unmitigated, right? I'm not like super sold on this area. Personally, I'm probably just going to wait for the pro trend move. Yeah, so right now I would say that, you know, our POI is probably somewhere in this region, and you can see that we come from an area where we've taken liquidity. We've taken liquidity here. This is just the flip zone of those liquidity takes. So right now we have lower time frame liquidity to take right here. Let's say the POIs that are relevant to me, at least right now, are going to be in here. And obviously at the extremities. So this is sort of what I'm looking at right now. Now, because we are pro trend, pro order flow. So like I said, this is not necessarily a relevant demand level for us. And the reason why is because, like I kind of covered yesterday, this doesn't have any interaction here. So I'm not expecting this to hold. I'm expecting it to give a reaction, but I would still consider us pro order flow, even if we pushed up into here. Like this demand level, there's demand here. So if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you're unsure, then yeah, I mean, like if we end up breaking through this and chalking up and chalking down, you can wait for your further confirmations on the 15-minute. Personally, I don't know that it's entirely required, based on the fact that I don't think that this demand is a strong level with the external factors to the left, right? So you can trade that. This is kind of like a, I don't know that it's a flaw in the flow chart, but it's something that is definitely a fair interpretation. Technically, if we react to demand on the left-hand side and we push up and change character, I mean, the idea behind it is that technically now we are going to need order flow to realign on the 15-minute. However, like I said, because I don't find this to be a relevant demand level in relation to something that I would trade long off of, and I say that now, and you know what's going to end up happening, right? We'll probably run fucking 400R from this stupid demand just because I said that. So anyways, don't listen to me. It does happen from time to time. So the conservative approach here is that we do in fact have unmitigated demand. We are in fact reacting to it. So you can mark this out. You can push this down into here. We do have something to sort of target, but I would be like, if you got into this trade, like let's say we 15-minute shock, something like this, came back down, we created equals to target, I would be targeting in here. This has the potential to go higher, for sure it does, and everything does, but our strategy basically keeps us within the realm of targeting 15-minute highs and lows. Especially if we're counter trend, we're just going to target the next unmitigated supply level that we should essentially be looking for the pro trend from. What else we got? Yeah, so with something like this, we could obviously refine down to our areas now. So I would start on the 3-minute. Is there anything nice and clean? You can see this beautiful take on liquidity right here, right? Comes up, mitigates this. Looks like this would be our nice juicy zone that I would be interested in, to be honest with you. That would be like, yeah, that would be the one for me. Let's go down to the 2, see if there's anything cleaner. Yeah, we got, yeah, we could probably refine down to that. Have the imbalance, level to then kind of take liquidity from. Yeah. So that's, yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at, like the extreme of like the actual flip zone before we break structure, right? Like that's the last interaction between buyers and sellers that remains unmitigated. So simple, simple, simple. Keep it simple. Doesn't mean we're going to go there. Doesn't mean we're going to get there today. Doesn't mean this won't blow right through it. It just means that this sort of ticks the boxes for us, right? And in order for us to know if our edge works, we got to take the trades that correlate with the plan, right? And then you can start measuring it. So break a structure, right? Can't deny that. That's a boss. And just be mindful that this right here is not a structure point until we start pushing up into here. So then if we get our, our Gambox tool, technically our structure is from here to here. Here's the thing. Structures, the way that I use the Gambox tool is what's relevant to our trade idea. This high, not necessarily that relevant. This has come up, it's been mitigated, The more relevant high for me is going to be this guy. I don't know if everybody agrees or understands that, but even though we're measuring structure points, like the more relevant area, and the same thing for this now would be, okay, well, when we start pulling and we change character here, creating this strong high right here after we've taken all this liquidity pushed down with aggression, this is the relevant area that I'm looking to trade within, right? I'm looking for POIs in here. You can just see like precise. Now, it doesn't always come up here, but it just gives you another thing to kind of verify your edge, right? So this is one of the more subjective things within the trade plan, is using the premium discount. A lot of people just like to use the 50%. That's cool. A lot of people switch this up to 30%. That's also cool. But you just need to have something that you follow every single day that is not subjective, right? Like, you need to be able to say, like, okay, if we don't hit the upper 25% in the relevant leg that we're trading in, and it's all about how you word it in your trade plan, then you don't have a trade idea. And you're going to have to tweak this and play with this. You're going to have to back test it. You're going to have to build case studies with it so that you can understand it a little bit further. But the bottom line is like, this is one of those things where, yeah, the pricing in the leg doesn't always matter. There's other more important confluences that we consider first. Again, this is just my opinion. Any questions, guys? About this, not about London, not about what's happened in like previous sessions. We can do that later on today. Any questions about this? Why wouldn't I consider that 15-minute demand? This guy over here. So you can consider this for a pullback play. The reason I don't really like it, just look over to the left here. Just give me a second. So if you look over to the left like this, Destiny, like if you, like ideally we want to see this come from a flip zone, right? Like that's usually, like when we're taking some sort of a continuation or looking for a reversal in the market, ideally we want to see it come from a flip on supply to demand, right? So if you look to the left, we just don't have any interaction over here. Like there's nothing over here whatsoever that really tell, like this is just basically a breakthrough in liquidity at this level. You know what I mean? Like sorry, let me just grab this. So because we broke through like all this liquidity like this, basically the market just exhausted itself. So this isn't like a really relevant area. Now, if this would have came into like this flip zone, pulled back like that and pushed up, I would be a lot more interested in this area because it proved that sellers could not take out buyers, push back through, and now we come back to mitigate the orders that we've kind of created, right? So for stuff like that, like and again, like it doesn't mean that you can't use this. It just means that for myself, at least, I'm not particularly interested just based off of there wasn't a whole lot of interaction at that level. It doesn't mean it can be considered. It just means like for me personally, I don't find it to be as high probability as say, you know, this beautiful 4-hour POI that's resting underneath here that causes a massive break of structure. Yeah, you can just see the accumulation of orders in here. Just the nature of how it formed is a lot clearer to me. So again, that's just my opinion. It's not necessarily right. It's just that's kind of what I'm viewing today. Cool. So in the case that we've swept down into, right? Swept down into, we break above, we mitigate supply. This is your better trade, right? Like this is the better trade to take this down and to kind of follow pro trend. So in this case, because we are reacting to demand, this is where, you know, management becomes a little bit different, because technically we are pro trend on the 4-hour and we are counter trend against the 4-hour, but we're pro trend on the 15, right? So your first target should always be the unmitigated demand levels down in here. We're expecting that this low should go and come down into here based off of a higher time frame intention, but you have to remember that if we leave an unmitigated demand behind and we get into a trade up here because something lines up for us, the idea behind this is that like this gets us out of the trade. It also gets us away from the charts on the Friday, not into toxic trades, and we just take our profits off the fucking table, right? So let's just say that we got in up around here. Yeah, there's a 28 pip move here, 14R probably. So if price chalks now, but doesn't hit the M15 supply, comes back and gives us the confluence on the M1, will be valid trade into the, yeah, of course, that's a counter trend model, right? So your counter trend model, basically, if we come up into here, we change character, we move back down without tapping into these supply zones first, take the counter trend trade. But I mean, really, the trade that should be focused on is never the counter trend one, right? It should be like, if there's anything to kind of take from all of this, it's to sort of align yourself with the pro trend move that's available. And if it means that you want to force out a counter trend move, sometimes they work. These are the ones that I take the most losses on. Personally, I try to force them too much, whereas if I just let everything come to me, these are a lot easier to take. So short answer is yes, absolutely you can. We have a model for it. However, the better way to trade this is to just be patient enough to wait for that. Oh my God, the pro trend move. But if it hits the M15 supply before coming back, it's not, well, if it hits the M15 supply, then the idea behind this is that we should be looking for this trade, no? Gotcha. Capiche? Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining me this early in the morning. And I'll see you around 1 o'clock. I'll be pretty active today in the server. Just finalizing the day planner for everybody. Just need to give it a once over and kind of input a little bit of data for everybody so that you have a templated version. So yeah, that should be out. I'm hoping today. I don't see it being a problem to get it out today. It's just, yeah, like I said, man, it just depends on what comes up throughout the day. So catch you guys in a little bit. I'm heading into the gym. I will answer DMs. I will also check everybody's questions that they have. If you do have some questions, put them in the trading questions section. If not, have a great day. Trade safely. Remember, pro trend is king. Have a good one. Bye-bye.